Hey guys, how's it going? Matt here with another episode along the North American van life industry tour. It's an adventure I'm taking around North America to help build out my van into a full-time podcasting and video production studio on wheels. We've already done the front and rear bumper, the ladder, the rack, the lights, and the winch from Backwoods Adventure Mods in Arkansas. We-Boost system in Houston. We have done the lizard skin thermal barrier and sound deadening compounds that I'll be spraying on later in Houston as well. And then we went to Phoenix and we got the air conditioning unit from Cruise and Comfort. But today is going to be a transformative visit. Maybe not installation-wise transformative, but the purchase of this item is going to prompt a very transformative phase of building out my van. This is Van Windows Direct. They supply van windows for Sprinters, for Promaster, and for my Ford Transit. And so what I really want to do with this van is use it as a tool to see the world, not only on the outside like I am now, but inside looking out. In particular, I want to be able to do podcasts and interviews with people in the back of the van and have the rear of the van be open to the world. So if I'm talking to a musician, I'll ask him, could you take me someplace in your neighborhood that's beautiful? We'll sit down in the back of the van and have a really nice conversation with really high quality equipment. And then around the back, you'll be viewing one of the most beautiful places that they think, or the most significant places that my guests will think are interesting. It's always been a very, very important thing for me to have windows around the van in the way that I want. Now, a lot of people might say, why didn't you buy the van with windows? Obviously, we're in a little bit of a difficult time to buy the vans that we want, and so I ended up buying this cargo van with no windows. But when I'm finished, we won't have a window here and here, but everywhere else we'll have windows. And plus, the windows that you get standard with a lot of these vans when you buy, like, say, a passenger van, they're not the type of windows for, say, living in your van or living out of your van. They're not going to have as many opportunities to have ventilation and things like this. And so I want to have a nice set of windows, and I want a beautiful viewing area from the inside out. And so I talked to Van Windows Direct for quite some time, as I have talked with most of the vendors that I'm visiting along this path. Maybe I can show you guys a little bit more about what sorts of windows are available and why I'm going to choose the van windows that I'm going to choose. And I'm not even 100% sure which types of windows, because there's a bunch of different suppliers of windows, and Van Windows Direct has their own series of windows that we're going to take a look at. So there's all sorts of options, all sorts of opportunities. So without further ado, let's go inside, check out what they have to offer, and pick out some windows for the Yeti. Howdy.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm Matt,
Hi, Matt.
the YouTuber guy. How's it going?
Good, good.
So I asked you if you could, you can't really, you were saying it's not really recommended to open these while you're driving.
So when you open these up, these aluminum arms here, if you're at highway speeds, they can bend.
Really?
If they bend, if we can pop the screen off. So not that they feel like real weak here or anything like that, but when you're at highway speeds, these can bend. If they bend, or if these little plastic wheels were to break, and that slips out, then the awning glass can at that point go way up
and just flip up.
It comes out of its little C hinge and then flies away.
It'll just slide right out.
If it goes to a certain degree, it'll just pop off.
That's how they put them in, probably, right? You know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely not when you're driving.
Yeah.
This is it.
That's it.
100% open.
Yeah.
Some of the things that come up every once in a while is the fact that this one may or may not be the same. This one's pretty close.
Yeah.
So not too bad.
There's some variation in the seam in the middle, in just kind of the layout when you install it.
Exactly.
It's a little bit sloppy, a little bit.
There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things for them to put it together, so it's hard to be 100% consistent every single time.
Right.
As long as we keep our realities in check, then it's fine.
Yeah. I just want the longest viewable area, and for me that's this. But if you were to not have that as an issue, then you could get something like this where you have, like, actually I measured it. You're opening on, this is the van windows, right? This one's got the widest opening, right? just about.
We're not comparing apples to apples on these two because this one is a different position.
Okay,
So
okay. All right.
the
Okay, I didn't realize. Yeah. But they all will size match up. It's not like the CRL one's going to be a little bit taller than another one as opposed to another one. Like mixing and matching.
You can mix and match them. As far as color-wise, they're all really
tone-wise,
close.
very
All
similar.
are considered solar privacy glass, so it's not going to look like some patchwork on the side of your van. That you have a quilt of different colored.
Right, checkerboard. And then of course your windows seal in with they don't have that. What would you call that back bracket? It just seals in.
Clamp ring or trim ring. Correct. AM Auto windows, also
Van Windows.
Direct windows. Both do the more modern urethane installation.
Yeah, which is what everybody's windshield, everybody's standard automotive window is installed with.
You go to Mercedes or you go to Ford or anybody else, they're urethane do.
Yeah.
The drawbacks are like with the installation process, we will always reference in your case that you're going to go front to back and you're going to have different styles of installation. CRL window always first. The reason for that
so that
is because it's a clamp ring window, there is no movement in
variation.
and out.
I got it.
Once it's installed, that's where it is.
Okay.
So with the urethane window, you have the ability to get that glass a little bit tighter to the wall if you need, a little bit further out if you need. So then that way you can go with the CRL window and keep it fluid all the way down the van. The middles, you go solid. You could do some kind of openings in one of the front ones and then have your rear quarters
be the CRL. Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Cool, man. How long have you been here?
This location right here, 2 years now, 2.5, and then business was started back in '73, and then we went to exclusively van windows 2.5 years ago when we moved to this location.
I reached out to John a while ago in looking for the window portion of my tour, and so I'm just sort of bobbing around finding the pieces of the puzzle.
Touring the world.
Yeah,
for everything.
Yeah,
Nice.
North America, and he has a secret weapon. I can't tell you about it, but he does have a really interesting, innovative new window idea that should be coming out in about 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, and hopefully at most.
Okay, so keep an eye out to Van Windows Direct because as soon as you hear it, you're gonna be like, wow, that's something different.
Very cool.
I've never seen that before, you know? A lot of people don't want to have too many windows on their van because it's a potential for letting in the heat and the cold and obviously prying eyes. But I want to be able to see out. Like that's like a real mission of me to be able to see out and have the world interacting with me while I drive. And so, you know, this is great. This is actually perfect. The CR Lawrence is going to be able to be the rear windows, and that's where I'll sleep. And so I can just tilt those out slightly. So I don't even get a lot of people being able to put their arms in and grab stuff, you know. So security-wise, I think those are probably the best option. But on the actual door, the sliding door, I can have one of these big openings, which will be kind of nice because I can actually open it out and reach out, and maybe I have somebody handing me some stuff. Also, I can open it up on the road and have airflow through the van in the rear area. Because like he said, you can't really open up those CR Lawrence windows when you're driving so much. Probably just around town, yeah, but on the highway for long periods of time, probably that's not such a good idea. This is a CR Lawrence, and this goes with a ring here that sandwiches the window against the steel and the ring. And in normal windows, you just lay a daub of silicone or some sort of adhesive, and then you lay in the door and let it seal that way. That's kind of how all doors are, all windows in automobiles are done, AMA. And then this is a Van Windows Direct style. So this is a window that was made by Jonathan here at his company. I actually really wanted to get all my windows from Van Windows Direct, like his brand, just because that's part of the journey, is to go to these places and contribute to what they supply specifically, their specific brand. But he distributes all of them, so having the option for the CR Lawrence is nice. The only thing I love so much about that CR Lawrence window is that it has that long viewing window that when it's in the back of the van, in that rear panel, you'll have that beautiful view that will go around the entire studio section of the van lounge. That's what I call it. I call it the lounge. You want nice long windows all the way around there. So I want to have, obviously, so we'll have the slider here, right? And then we'll have the spacer here, and then we'll have the CRL if possible, and then obviously 2 flat ones, and then we'll have the CRL here. And then I was thinking, just because this is a blank, right? This is where the blank one would sit. I don't want the ladder there anyway.
If you don't want to cut the window out, that's not a problem. You just spray paint the black on the back side of the glass, and then just glue it with vertical strips in place.
Oh, and it's just a blank. On the inside, I'm going to have a wall there anyway. My kitchenette, entertainment center. So how long have you ladies been working here? Is this family? Are you all family?
Yeah, mother-in-law, wife.
Oh, cool, cool.
We're the only ones in the family
So your mom was telling me about warranties. So if you Van Windows Direct window, you offer a full year warranty.
AMA will be 6 months. CRL's 30 days.
Okay. What does that cover if it won't cover if it cracks?
No, breakage is not covered currently under anything.
Yeah.
Of the brands. But
like a defect or something.
Anything of workmanship or anything like that happens will be warranted.
So these are the back doors?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So these ones are going to be back doors.
Your mom says that you put in the windows in the A-Team van?
No windows, fiberglass.
The fiberglass.
Yeah, the business originated, like you mentioned earlier, in the 70s.
Yeah.
Back then, van, it wasn't like today, so it was all about the fiberglass wheel, the flares,
right.
wider tires, the rake look, the visors in the front, wings in the back, all that kind of stuff, kind of an 18 type look, and then that's where the business kind of started. That was my father's passion. He was really into customizing the vans. The opportunity came through to where we could have our own line of windows, and that interests me because I like having control.
When did you first introduce Van Windows Direct Van Windows?
Yeah, a year and a half ago.
Okay. How many windows do you output a year? I'm curious. Just like thousands and thousands?
Yes.
Thousands and thousands.
Yes. Thousands.
Mostly Sprinter or Transit or Pro. What would you say percentage between the three?
Sprinter is the most.
Yeah.
I would say Ram is going to be behind that. Transit right now is the least.
Third place? Really?
Transit third place. I don't know if
maybe they buy vans with windows already.
Well, I know like the Ram is very affordable.
Yeah.
So,
okay, more budget.
That one, it's very affordable. Some people like the idea of, I think that one's front wheel drive instead of the other ones. So maybe turning radius or something. I don't know exactly. So
something there. There's something. Yeah. So, is there a temperature thing you have to consider when you're installing? I've just thought about that.
40 degrees and above.
40 and above.
Yeah. So under 40 it starts getting into a sketchy area. But even at like 40 to into 60, there's some things that you could do that help. So what we usually will tell people is when you get your urethane tube, get yourself a bucket of water, put as hot as you can, tap
warm that stuff up.
It doesn't have to be like kettle boiling.
Yeah.
Hot tap water.
Yep.
Put them with the sealed side down into the water and let them sit in that hot water while you do your cutting and everything else. That way, by the time you get to it, it'll have warmed.
It won't matter that the wall of your van or the outer, because as soon as it touches that metal, it's going to cool down.
The biggest thing for urethane installed windows is consistency. You gotta have
in the bead. Yeah.
Consistency in that bead all the way around. That will eliminate probably 98% of the problems that are faced with a urethane window.
Okay.
So manual caulking guns, a typical one that you pick up for a few dollars at a store is going to be what's considered a 3-to-1 thrust ratio. So you squeeze and it's going to push 3 times the amount of pressure you squeeze.
Like by leverage or something? Yeah.
Into the product.
Yeah.
You need to have, for automotive urethane, you need to have 12-to-1 or above because it's not pasty like silicone, it's like tar.
Okay.
So we have the 26-to-1s that we offer. That's the highest ratio manual. Is it as nice as cordless? No, but it's definitely an affordable option that gives you the ability to be far more consistent as you squeeze around.
Thermally, having these windows is not really smart, right? Because as opposed to an insulated wall, a window is going to it doesn't exactly have a lot of R value, you know what I mean?
Right.
I was looking online and I was seeing that there are some like ceramic coatings you can put on the outside. Is there anything that you've heard of that can help to create a little bit more of a thermal barrier with these things as opposed to just virgin?
What I usually recommend to people is install as is, and see what you think.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find that our thought process into how it's going to be
is not reality.
Match up to reality.
Yeah.
We think that, oh man, the sun is just going to be coming through. It's going to be burning me up if I'm next to the window. And you're in there and you're perfectly comfortable, and it's never an issue. From what I understand, there's also like 3M makes it's almost like a window tint.
Yeah, but it's just ceramic. Yeah, ceramic coating.
That it's just clear. There's no darkness to it, and it just adds that extra UV layer that I think it cuts it down by like 90 something.
Some huge percentage, yeah.
So,
So, you know, a lot of the things that I'm talking about with the owners of these companies are like, these guys are listening to the customers, listening to people that are buying their windows, and also listening to the industry. And there's two windows that look kind of similar. This is from AMA, and this one here is from Van Windows Direct. And if you looked at them just kind of like, just looked at them, you'd say they're probably pretty similar. But there's also things that are interesting that Jonathan has taken into consideration when he's designed these things to say, you know what, I want to make them a little bit better. And so, for example, the rail here, right? The rail. So in this window here, there's the ability to shake. And when you decided to build your own window, you said, well, let's silence that a little bit. So he took and he put a rubber gasket on the inside of both the sliding window section and the screen section. Also, this is the metal screen, right? Is that a metal screen as well? Because you had kids asking you, or families and dogs, and everything was tearing at the screens. So these screens can fray, and once they rip or fray, then they're gonna flop around and be a bit messy. Whereas the Van Windows Direct one, you could hear it. It's aluminum. And then also the thing I really like is, I'll show you this one first. You've got this little metal bracket here that is designed to hold the windows in place when they're closed, because now you can see it has a little curvature to it. This is the AMA, but you could tell right away that there was more thought given into the design of this bracket, because when you fold this over, it not only folds all the way over and almost locks, it doesn't necessarily lock in place, but it does fold all the way over, and it has a section that's holding the window as well as a section that's holding the screen. It's the little things that make the big difference. Yeah, I think this is the perfect window to have on my door. Because plus you'll be able to reach out and, you know, hand things to people on the outside. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Most people wouldn't know these things unless they talk to you, you know, like they wouldn't know this. That's why hearing the story behind these things is cool.
And it's hard to relay all of this information on a web page.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, and the third one is that this coating here is actually matted. So if you were to like damage or scratch, you can paint this matte and it'll match up a lot better than, say, this one, which is the glossy coat. So even little things like just the finish of the railings itself is kind of thought through.
297L.
Keep marking them, I'll give you
Oh, okay.
This one's
I like it. Kind of, it's sticky, so it'll kind of hold together. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Van Windows Direct checked off the list. That's been a big thing for me, and it's a big relief to say have that checked off the list. I just have to make sure that I don't break any of those windows while I'm driving around the rest of the United States of America. Stay. All right, guys, like, subscribe, share, comment. I appreciate you. We've really kind of crossed the halfway point on this trip. The next stage on the North American Van Life Industry Tour will be a shop north of LA and Seaside Auto House, where we'll be spraying the sound deadener and the ceramic thermal barrier. And we'll also be doing a little wrapping there. I think we might wrap the hood of the van, which I have been kind of thinking about doing for quite some time, so I'm kind of excited about that. So we got a lot of cool things to do. with regards to that. And then we'll sweat out the holidays, and past the new year, we'll go back up to Portland. Possibly, we'll go back to Agile and get the tires, the rims, and the lift kit. So there's a bunch of things that will be happening in the future. The process is gathering. The back of this van is filling with things to do. Very cool.